there's something happening all around you, so quietly, so consistently, that most people will go their entire lives without noticing it. And if you don't see it, you will keep living in a loop. You will keep trying harder, pushing more, chasing faster, and still feeling like reality is holding back your results. Let me paint the scene. Imagine two people standing in the same city, breathing the same air, living under the same economy, the same social rules, the same opportunities. Same age, same education level, same neighborhood growing up, and same starting line. One of them seems like life opens doors automatically. They meet the right person at the right time, their ideas gain traction, they have lucky time, they recover quickly. When they fall, they seem to attract support, love, and momentum. The other one fights every step. They work hard but always feel behind. They keep meeting dead ends. They feel invisible in rooms. They see others pass them even when they believe they're more talented. They say things like, "It's always like this for me." Now here's the uncomfortable truth. The difference isn't destiny. It isn't karma. It isn't the universe choosing favorites. Today we are going to talk about the invisible mechanism that makes that possible. Not as a theory, as a practical law. Once you understand it, you will never be able to call yourself a victim again. Not because you feel guilty, but because you realize you have been holding the steering wheel the whole time. The mechanisms is what I call the mirror principle. And by the end of this video, you will understand why trying to change your life often fails, because most people are trying to change the reflection, not the source. Every morning when you wake up, you stand in front of the most important mirror of your life. Not the bathroom mirror, not the mirror in your closet, not the front camera of your phone. It's the mirror of reality. And this mirror has one strange property. It never lies. It reflects exactly what you believe deep down about yourself and about your life. Not what you say you believe, not what you post, not your motivational quotes. Your real beliefs, your emotional default, your identity. Reality is like an honest mirror. It reflects what's actually there. And most people hate this because it removes their favorite addiction, blaming circumstances. So let's be very clear here. If your results are consistently painful, if your relationship repeats the same patterns, if your finances feels like a treadmill, if you keep meeting the same type of problem with a new face, then the mirror isn't broken. The image being projected is distorted. And the distortion isn't your fault in the childish sense, like you should feel ashamed. But it is your responsibility in the mature sense, because only you can correct it. Now, when I say mirror, I'm not using poetry, I'm describing a law. Your external life is the echo of your internal state. Your internal state has two main components. Number one is identity, who you believe you are. Number two is the worldview, what you believe life is like. And the mirror doesn't judge. It doesn't say that belief is negative. It doesn't say that belief is positive. It simply says, understood, I will now provide evidence to confirm what you believe. This is why reality can feel like a trap. If you believe you're always overlooked, reality supplies more proof. If you believe love is unstable, reality supplies more proof. If you believe money is hard, reality supplies more proof. The mirror is loyal, and loyalty is beautiful until you project a prison into it. Then it becomes a perfect cage. But if you learn how to change what you project, this mirror becomes your greatest ally. Most people spend their entire lives trying to change the reflection. They don't like what they see, so they fight the mirror. They try to grab the image inside the glass and rearrange it. If they don't like their finances, they add more hours, more stress, more pain. If they don't like their relationships, then they try to become more appealing, more agreeable, more impressive, or less needy. If they don't like their opportunities, they chase harder, apply more, beg more, push more, and sometimes they get small wins, but nothing truly changes because the cause remains. Let me give you a fresh analogy. Imagine you're watching a movie on a screen, and the picture is distorted, colors wrong, sound delayed, faces blurred. Most people start slapping the screen. They wipe it, they adjust the angle, they complain, they curse the screen, but the screen isn't the source. The source is the projector behind you. Your life is the screen, your inner world is the projector. You can slap the screen for 10 years and the movie stays the same. But if you turn around and adjust the projector, everything changes instantly. The secret isn't changing the reflection, the secret is changing who is standing in front of the mirror. That's the core of the mirror principle. And now I'm going to give you the 4 secrets that people who truly transform their reality, consciously or unconsciously, are using. I call them the 4 secrets of the mirror masters. A mirror master is not someone perfect. A mirror master is someone who stopped arguing with the reflection and started working with the source. So secret number 1 is the art of conscious projection. Most people project an identity by accident. Mirror masters project an identity by design. Here's what the average person does. They look at their current circumstances and conclude, this is who I am. I'm broke, I'm unlucky, I'm not the kind of person who gets chosen. I'm always the one who gets hurt. I'm not good at a business. I'm not charismatic. I'm not consistent. They treat circumstances like DNA, but circumstances are not identity. Circumstances are evidence of what has been projected so far. A mirror master does the reverse. They decide who they are becoming before reality approves it. They choose an identity and begin living it now. Not in a delusional way, in a disciplined way. Let me give you a new story. Imagine 2 musicians. Both have average skill right now. One of them goes, I'm trying to be a musician. The other one goes, I'm a musician in training. Those sentences look similar, but energetically they are worlds apart. The first person is waiting for permission. The second person has already claimed identity and is now building skill to match it. Now take that into life. Most people are waiting for reality to say, okay, now you can be confident. Okay, now you can be abundant. Okay, now you can be loved. But reality doesn't give you identity. Reality reflects it. So here's the mirror master exercise. Take a piece of paper and write this question. Who do I need to become for my desired life to feel natural? Notice I didn't say what do I need to get, because getting without becoming creates temporary wins and permanent anxiety. When you become the person, the life becomes a side effect. Now write an identity statement, but not in a shallow affirmation. Make it functional. Examples. Do not copy, use them as a template, okay? I am the kind of person who responds to challenges with calm and strategy. I am the kind of person who creates opportunities instead of waiting for them. I am the kind of person who is consistent even when motivation is low. I am the kind of person who is seen and respected because I carry presence. Now the key, you must act as if this is already true. Not because you're pretending, because you're training the projector. Identity is not a feeling. Identity is a pattern. And patterns are built by repetition. A mirror master doesn't ask, do I feel like it? They ask, what would the version of me I'm becoming do next? Then they do that. This is conscious projection. You become the cause, and the mirror eventually must reflect it. Now here's where many people fail. They choose a new identity, and then they look at the mirror the next morning like, where is it? They don't see instant proof and they collapse back into the old story. Which brings us to the secret number 2. The patience of the craftsman. Most people understand planting, few people understand building. Let me give you a different analogy than the gardener. Something you can actually feel in your bones. Imagine a sculptor carving marble. The first day looks like nothing. The second day looks like nothing. The third day still looks like nothing. To an untrained eye, it's just a stone being intact. But in the mind of the sculptor, the statue already exists. They are not creating from nothing. They are revealing it through consistent, patient work. Reality is dense. Mind is fast. You can create a new identity in one moment of clarity, but physical reality reorganizes through time. So there is always a delay between the internal shift and the external reflection. The delay is not a punishment, it is the nature of density. It is the time it takes for your new frequency to replace the old momentum. If you were driving a ship and you turn the wheel, the ship doesn't instantly change direction. It begins to arc. And during that arc, you might still see the old scenery for a while. That doesn't mean the direction didn't change. It means you're still completing the turn. Most people quit during the arc. They say nothing is changing, but something is changing. The projector is changing, and the mirror is lagging. A mirror master stays loyal to the new identity even when the reflection is still catching up. This is the real test. Not motivation, not inspiration, loyalty. The ability to remain committed to the inner truth because it has external evidence. This is where power is born, because anyone can be confident when things are going well, right? But the master becomes confident first, so things begin going well. So here's the principle. Do not negotiate with the mirror during the delay. Your job is to keep adjusting the projector. Reality will follow. It has no choice. The power of direct focus is our third secret. This secret is so simple that people miss it. The mirror of reality does not reflect what you mean. It reflects what you focus on. It doesn't reflect your intention behind the words. It reflects the object you keep energizing with attention. Here's a new example. A person says, "I'm so tired of being disrespected." They think the emotional power of their sentence is pushing against the disrespect. But the mirror hears the main theme, being disrespected, right? So what shows up? More situations to confirm disrespect. Another person says, "I hate always being behind." Mirror hears always being behind and provides more evidence for that. The mirror doesn't process negation the way your logical mind does. It processes focus. So a mirror master learns to direct attention like a laser. They don't obsess over what they don't want. They feed what they do want. Do you understand the difference? They don't stare at the disease. They build the immune system. They don't worship the problem. They cultivate the solution. Think about a flashlight in a dark room. Whatever you point at becomes the reality of the room. If you point it at clutter, you live in a clutter. If you point it at the path forward, you find the exit. Your attention is the flashlight. Your focus determines what grows. Now here's a practice. When you catch yourself saying, "I don't want, I'm tired of, I can't stand it," pause and ask yourself, what do I want instead? Now, not with desperation, with identity. Instead of I'm tired of being broke, for example, shift to I am building financial stability, skill by skill. Instead of I hate being alone, shift to I am becoming emotionally available and aligned with healthy love. Instead of I can't stand this job, shift to I am preparing my next level with discipline and precision. Direct focus is not toxic positivity, it's intelligent creation because energy follows attention and the mirror follows energy. Alright, secret number 4 is break the reverse creation loop. Now we reach the most transformative secret. This is where people either wake up or stay asleep forever. Most people live inside a loop that keeps reality identical. The loop looks like this. They observe current reality, they form identity from it, they project that identity, reality reflects it back, they observe it again, and the loop strengthens and it's like a snake eating its own tail. Let me give you a fresh story now. Imagine a person who had a few painful rejections early in life. They conclude, I'm not chosen. Now they walk into every room with that invisible label. They speak timidly, they avoid eye contact, they hesitate to ask, they don't fully show themselves. People respond to that energy by overlooking them. Then they say, see, I'm not chosen. Loop confirmed. Now Mirror Master interrupts the loop. They don't accept today's reflection as truth. They treat it as a snapshot of old projection. Then they choose a new projection and commit to it. They start acting like the chosen version of themselves, not arrogantly, but with presence. They speak when they have something to say, they hold eye contact, they ask for what they want, they stop apologizing for existing. Now reality begins to shift, not instantly, but inevitably. And here's the key. They learn to validate small confirmations because the mirror changes gradually. A new person appears who respects them. A new opportunity shows up. Our conversation goes differently. They don't dismiss it. They celebrate it internally. That celebration is not childish. It simply amplifies the frequency. It tells the subconscious, this is real, keep building this. And then the loop reverse. Instead of observing lack and creating more lack, they observe emerging evidence and create more evidence. They stop staring at the old reflection. They start designing the next reflection. This is how synchronicity begins. Not as magic, as an alignment. You become coherent in reality, recognize around coherence. Alright, let's summarize the 4 secrets now. Number 1 was conscious projection, which is choosing identity first, then let reality catch up. Number 2 was staying loyal during the delay while density reorganizes. 3, directed focus. The mirror reflects what you energize, not what you complain about. And 4, break the reverse loop. Stop using today's reflection as your identity. Create tomorrow's. Now here is what I suggest you to do. Speak to the part of you that already knows this is true. Because if you stayed here this long, it means something inside you is tired of repeating patterns. It means you're ready to responsibility, not blame. You're ready to become the cause. And there is a moment in every life where you must choose. Keep negotiating with circumstances or become the architect. The mirror is always waiting, and it will reflect whatever you decide to be. But understand this, if you don't change, reality will never change. Not because reality hates you, because reality is loyal. It is the most faithful mirror you will ever meet. So here's the question that changes everything. What image are you projecting to the mirror of reality starting today? Not next month, not when things get better or easier. Today. What identity are you fitting? What worldview are you reinforcing? What are you calling life? Because the mirror is listening and it will answer. If this video spoke to you, then you're not here by accident. This channel, Center of Expansion 5D, It's a space for people who are ready to stop living as reflections and start living as creators. We are building a library of teachings that sharpen identity, focus, emotional discipline, so you can stop repeating cycles and start designing reality. And if you felt a shift while listening, leave a comment with one sentence. I choose the new projection. Because words are seeds, and your comment is a declaration. Now go live it now by fighting the mirror, by becoming the one who stands before it with power. Thank you for being here. Love and light from my heart to yours.